Oh, Libra season. Time for love, aesthetics, and indecision. Hello and welcome back to Mercury Minded Tarot. My name is Chelsea and today I'm pumped up because I thought we would try something just a little bit different today on my channel, which is exploring TAROTSCOPEs. What's that, you may ask? It's basically me going sign by sign, kind of looking into the themes and what you can expect for Libra season, which is coming up on September 23rd and goes towards the end of October. I'll put the exact dates somewhere. So for a reading like this, it's important to utilize your rising sign. And if you're sitting there going, Chelsea, what in the fresh hell is a rising sign? Don't panic. I'm gonna have in the description box below a link to astro.com, because in this house, we don't use cafe astrology for birth chart calculations. Okay, that's it. Astro.com is going to have just an expansive and exhaustive list of all of your placements, and you can find your rising sign, also known as your ascendant, there, because with predictive horoscope type forecasts like this, they are typically created with the rising sign in mind for transit purposes. But if you're like, well, screw you and screw your rising sign, I'm going to use my sun sign, by all means, feel free to do so. I mean, you can use your moon sign. You could look at all your signs. This is your free time. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Check them all out. It's up to you. However you want to tackle this new season, I'm in your hands, okay? If you like and enjoy astrology and tarot and content like that, go ahead, like, subscribe, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to shut up. I'm gonna have all of the timestamps listed below for each sign, and I will see you there. Okay, my Aries babies, let's go ahead and look at what Libra season has in mind for you. Now, I'm gonna try to hold, I don't even know if you're able to see these, some of these up. We have the Three of Pentacles, we have Virgo, and we have self-love. Now, something before I even get into these cards and their meanings, I want to point out, especially for my Aries suns, but all Aries placements, this may be a more challenging season for you just because we are dealing with your opposite. Aries and Libra are opposite signs, okay? So especially if you have like your Aries sun, it's going to be opposite this Libra sun for this whole season, which may be kind of like, you know, you feel like you're up against a brick wall. This is just things not going as smoothly as they could or usually do for you. Now, when I look at these cards that I have pulled for you, this is kind of putting your focus towards your career, towards bettering your financial situation, and also bettering yourself and your relationships, because in true Libra fashion, this is a season of partnerships. The Three of Pentacles is all about not only bettering yourself and bettering your talents and your skills, but also working with others. And Virgo's the same way. You know, Virgo is all about serving others, and it's associated with that perfectionism too, with working hard. Now, on that note, you may be working hard, you may be trying to get along with others and working with others as best you can, but it can get frustrating because, like I said, we're dealing with your opposite season. So you may feel, you know, like you're bashing your head against the wall. People aren't understanding you as clearly as they have been or should be. The self-love card comes into play just to remind you to have patience during this time and go easy on yourself. If things aren't working out as you'd like or as quickly, because Aries, you can have a tendency for impatience, okay? You're very go, go, go dynamic energy. This is saying be kind to yourself. Things aren't gonna go the way that you anticipate or would like to have them go this season, but to just go easy on yourself, because Virgo has that tendency too, okay? Virgo energy is very, very hard on themselves. But I do see Libra season being a time for you to make advances, whether that is in your education, in your career, specifically in those areas. It's you wanting to make a better situation for yourself in this physical material realm. That's what these cards have to say for you. I also want to say that I see your eye being very much on the future for Libra season. You may start a new job or new like business venture. You may really decide and finally like commit to a major or an education or career path. Your eye is on the future and you're wanting to make a better life for yourself this season. Like that's what's coming from the energies from these cards. Responsibility is a big word I keep getting. Being responsible, finally like hunkering down, getting to business, taking care of what needs to be taken care of. And it's all for the betterment of yourself. And the Three of Pentacles, it is working with others. It is utilizing teamwork, but these partnerships that you're working with right now and that you're being a part of right now is all towards, it's like furthering your goals. Okay, but I don't see, I'm looking for like any conflict or any like relationship issues, and I don't see that here. Because even if you are working towards bettering yourself and you're working with others towards that end, I don't see conflict. Three of Pentacles is usually pretty smooth in terms of, you know, relationships, whether it be romantic, platonic, familial, whichever. You know, there's happy imagery here, so I'm not seeing a whole lot of conflict. I'm just sensing frustration on your end, and almost like a sense of powerlessness, which for Aries can be very frustrating and very upsetting if you don't feel like you're in control of a situation. And I do see you struggling with a loss of control, not that you lose control, but just that you aren't as in charge as you would like to be, you know, because you are relying on others this season. This is all about using the relationships and the partnerships that you have to get what you want. This isn't a season where you can charge ahead on your own, which Aries can have a tendency to be independent sometimes. They don't want to always cooperate with others. They just want to do it themselves. So there could be some frustrations there for you. But ultimately, I see this being a very productive, very results-oriented season for you. Okay, my Aries babies, that's what I have for you. Just a very career, education-focused season for you, ultimately. A lot of teamwork, working with others, being hard on yourself, being frustrated if you're not getting the results that you anticipated. So just hang in there. This is an opposite season for you, so it can be a little rough, but you're gonna come out of it okay. So thank you, Aries. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the next sign. Okay, Taurus. Hello, my Taurians. I'm gonna go and try to show you the cards that I have here. We have the Ten of Swords. Okay, we have Trust. And we also have the Second House. So what do I get for you for Libra season? With a theme like the Ten of Swords, there's unfinished business that needs to be taken care of this season. I don't know if this is, in regards to yourself, maybe your family and relationships, even, with the Second House, it could quite literally be with your career or your business. But there's definitely negativity that you're hanging on to somewhere. And I feel like it is, in your beliefs, you believe something that's negative. Whether it's true or not, it's something you need to let go of. You just need to get it dealt with, get it cleared up so you can move on this season. Because right now, things may be looking a little grim. Things may not be as positive as you would like them to be right now. But I do want to say, we have trust. And it's as if the universe is trying to tell you that even if it does look gray and grim right now, there are positive vibrations that are coming your way, and you have to trust in that. I also see it kind of applying to, trust in your beliefs, trust in what you know to be true. The Ten of Swords, quite literally with a lot of the imagery on these tarot cards, you have the 10 swords in the back of a person. So some people think of it as a backstabbing or a betrayal. And that may be something you have to deal with this Libra season. And if there's a lot of conflicting opinions or conflicting information, to trust what you know, trust your belief, because your intuition is spot on. And whatever this conflict is, your intuition is telling you the truth. Something else that comes to mind, something else that's hitting me right now is, it's on the same vein as releasing negative mindsets, releasing toxic thought patterns, or like if you're thinking down on yourself this season, if you if you really do find yourself in a more negative headspace, in order to release that, and this can be hard for Taurus, and I may explain why. It's gonna be hard, but you should learn to have trust in things that you don't necessarily see, in things that you can't see or like hold physically, but nevertheless, they do exist. This is like a test of faith. This is a test of your beliefs. This is a heavy season for you, Taurus. Because Taurus is an earth sign, right? So they're very much grounded in reality. So having faith in things that you can't physically see or touch or otherwise observe, it can be hard for you to have faith in that. But in order to get out of any toxic, negative headspace, there's an element of trust that needs to be had. There are issues I see during Libra season for you, things not going as you planned, and there may be, feelings of discouragement when these things go wrong, but the message still remains to have trust in better things are coming for you. Have trust in the fact that better things are headed your way. Patience is going to be needed this season, and it's like things aren't going to be working out because the universe is trying to set you up for what you need, and that's not necessarily what you want. It's like you have an idea of what you want for yourself, but it's not something that's actually in alignment with you. It's not something intended for you. And so you may have to struggle through some disappointment this Libra season, but that's because something better is on its way, something more in tune with you, something that's actually meant for you. So there is the disappointment, there is the discouragement, but it's like that's getting cleared away. That's what's getting cleared up, is whatever's not meant for you this season is getting pushed to the side. That's getting removed in order to make space for what is good for you and what does have purpose in your life. This is the last thing I'm kind of getting for you, Taurus, is just that you shouldn't have your eyes closed to alternatives. Being a fixed sign, Taurus, okay, you can have that stubbornness in you, okay? And it's like once you're set in one direction, you can get stuck in that direction. And Libra season is going to be showing you that you need to have your eyes open to other possibilities, other routes, other options, because whatever you're going towards right now, I don't see that working out. And you need to have more trust and more faith in these other possibilities that are going to be making themselves known to you this season. Okay, Taurus. I'm sorry, these cards were a little heavy for you this season, but it's just all about understanding that sometimes what you have in mind for yourself isn't what the universe has in mind for you. And so it's clearing out those expectations, and it's all in order to make room for what you should be pursuing, for what is meant for you. So I'm sorry this was a little heavy for you, Taurus, but I appreciate you stopping by and participating in this TAROTSCOPE with me, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next sign. Hey, hello there, Geminis. Let's go ahead and see what the cards have to say about Libra season for you. Now, the first tarot card I pulled is the Queen of Wands. And then for oracle cards, for clarification, I have Attraction. And I have, if I can get it, I have Capricorn. So what do I see for you, Gemini? I mean, with the Queen of Wands and Capricorn, I've talked about the Queen of Wands in previous videos as having, you have to pardon my French, but having that boss bitch energy. Okay, she doesn't mess around and she wants nothing but the best for herself. And Capricorn honestly can be that same way. This is very kind of dominating, powerful energy, which can be different for Gemini, who's typically more mutable, more go with the flow. But here we have you deciding, what you want to achieve, and then making plans to get it. This is a very go, go, go season for you, Gemini. And when I look at attraction, I want to mention, if you're interested in manifestation, or if you follow the law, the East Coast came out, the law of attraction, it's literally right here. This is something that you could utilize during Libra season, and I'd expect you to find and have a lot of success with manifesting your goals, manifesting your dreams and your aspirations. If there's things you want, I would highly, highly suggest looking into the law of attraction this Libra season for you, Gemini, because I see that working out really, really well for you. This is also going to be a season of you making progress for some of you in regards to like family situations, but for most of you in regards to almost like self-empowerment, really working hard, getting that money. There's even, with the Queen of Wands, there's that creative spark. So you may pursue something that was typically just a hobby for you, but you may be interested in kind of seeing where that could take you. What direction could you go if you pursued that on a more serious or professional level? There may be a little bit of frustration if things don't go the way you want them to. And in that regard, for you, my little Geminis, I would say, you know, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to let others in to help you if you're not getting where you want to be on your own. I do see you embodying this Queen of Wands energy. I talked about her, you know, being bad, being tough. She's also very loyal, very generous, and that's in tune with Capricorn as well. Kind of determined, passionate, proud, honest. You're embodying a lot of Capricorn and Queen of Wands energy. So I'd be interested for some of you Geminis to see where Capricorn actually falls in your chart. Maybe maybe there's some sort of transits for you, which is why you're embodying this kind of really go-getter, powerful spirit. But I mean, you are determined to achieve your goals, and you do have a lot of focus and drive this Libra season. There really just seems to be this interest in pursuing different avenues or different paths that you may not have considered before, or you're just starting to. Maybe, you know, this past season with Virgo energy, you were able to pick a path, and now with this season, you're really pursuing it. Your focus is really there, and you're really dedicated, really committed to making something out of it. This feels business, I don't want to say business, but like career focused, career oriented. I'm not seeing a whole lot in the realms of relationships for you this season. I'm sure, I mean, it's Libra season, so there is going to be some sort of focus on partnerships. But mostly I see you really focusing on yourself and your own goals and your own endeavors. However, I guess I do see with attraction, if you being that attractive person, you might have others flocking to you this season, Gemini, because you're putting out this very attractive energy, and not only is that going to bring, you know, as far as manifestation goes, not only is that going to bring your goals closer to you, but this also might bring other people closer to you too. You may find yourself, you know, interested in a new romantic relationship, because the Queen of Wands, she's fiery and passionate, so there may be some sort of I want to say passionate love affair, but there may be some spark in your love life this season, Gemini. This could also be referring to someone, I hate to be like, it's an ex, because most of the time it's not, but this could be if you've been having conflict with someone. This is very good energy for sorting out those issues. Now, if this is a toxic person, you may not want to sort out those issues, but if this is something that was more like in regards to issues with timing, or just the situation wasn't right and they're still a good person, it just didn't work for a reason like that, this is very good energy for kind of resolving that and moving forward. And I could even see this person coming to you and telling you, you know, how much they've really been thinking about you, or how much you've been on their mind lately. Because like I said, attraction, you're bringing a lot of energy to you this season, Gemini. Okay. I'm excited for you, Geminis. Go forth and conquer this Libra season. That's really what I see for you. You have a lot of this positive energy coming towards you, and I fully expect you to make the best of it, okay? So thank you for hanging out with me during this Taroscope, Gemini. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the next line. Okay, Cancer, welcome to your Taroscope. I'm gonna go ahead and just show you what I have here. For your tarot card, I have the King of Cups. And for the clarifying oracle cards, we have Creation, and we have Neptune. So right off the bat, this is a lot of water energy, and it's honestly not surprising. I mean, we're dealing with you, Cancer. And What's interesting, especially to me, is that with the King of Cups, you know, of course he has the water sign association, but I think with a lot of references, the King of Cups can be directly associated with Cancer. So this is really a season for you really embodying that Cancer archetype, which is emotional, creative, kind of a homebody. I hate to say moody, but that is typically associated with Cancer. But more than that, there's, you know, consideration for others. There's worrying about others, worrying about yourself too. But I see a lot of this energy being funneled into your creative outlets. We have the card of creation, and we have Neptune. So this is kind of getting inspiration this season. You may be feeling those, you know, creative juices flowing and being able to put practical application to those. In particular, this may be business focused, or even focused more on your home life, Cancer, because the King of Cups, he is a bit of a homebody. So this may be a season for you to redecorate your house, but it very well could be kind of bringing a breath of fresh air into your living situation. I also see for you, Cancer, being kind of swept up in this daydreamy, flirtatious kind of mood. You've got a very powerful interest in romance, whether you're single or already in a relationship. I do see you being in this romantic mood for Libra season. You're very flirty, you've got love on the brain, and that's all very visible with these cards that we have here. Kind of on that same note, I see you not wanting to spend time alone this season. This feels like a time where you want to be with someone, whether you want to find someone to settle down and spend your life with, but more realistically, it's just you want someone to share things with, whether it is your creations or just your thoughts, your experiences. You want to go out and do things with others this season. You just want someone to spend time with. Let's see, what else do I kind of feel for you right now, Cancer? It's still the main energy I'm getting is kind of this upswing in your creative energy, and that also applies to your business endeavors. You may have ideas for starting your own business or wanting to work from home, you know, creating plans, creating that practical application for those more creative or artistic dreams of yours, wanting to make a living off of something artistic, off of something creative. I see you putting a lot of projects into practice. Does that make sense? Like putting a lot of your projects to the test, testing your ideas, testing what's possible, finding ways to make like a viable living off of your creative pursuits. And it may be hazy sometimes because with Neptune you always get just a touch of that illusion. So when you have Neptune, some things aren't going to be realistic, and that's why it's important for you to test. That's what's coming through here, is what ideas and what projects are going to work. What can you actually make feasible and practical? Because you're gonna have a lot of dreams with the King of Cups, okay? You're gonna have a lot of ideas, a lot of dreams, but it's about sorting through the illusions that Neptune's gonna put in front of you, okay? Sorting through, that's not actually going to work out. That wouldn't actually be feasible. And then making those practical plans for what could be. That's what I see for you. I also don't want, for those who are single, I don't want you to get so caught up in this romantic daydreamy state that you're in that you accept anybody, all right? Because like I said, that illusion from Neptune, it may make someone look better than they actually are. And I don't mean physically, but I mean, you may think, wow, this person's the whole package, and that could be Neptune kind of skewing things a little bit. So I want you to have some discernment. You can be lovey-dovey and you can have your rose-colored glasses on, but I would just advise to really be careful with who you're choosing to spend your time with, because I know you want to spend time with people this season. This is all about strengthening your partnerships and your relationships. I know you're looking for someone to do all these things with, but I want you to be careful that you're not just picking anybody for the sake of having someone there. Because Neptune, there could be just some issues with people not being as great as they come off or as they appear. Okay, so that's what I get for you, Cancer. I want to thank you so much for joining me during this Tarotscope. I hope nothing but the best for you this Libra season, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the next one. Okay, Leos, let's go ahead and look at what we have here for you. I've pulled the Four of Cups, Discernment, and the Sun, which I think is just so cool because we know that Leo is ruled by the Sun. So that's a neat little synchronicity kind of thing we have going on there. What do I see in store for you for Libra season? You know, the Four of Cups and Discernment, they both have this imagery of a woman meditating. And when I see the Four of Cups in a spread, sometimes that can mean apathy. It can mean kind of detaching yourself from a situation. And I feel like that goes along really well with discernment, which is, you know, really looking at a situation, considering all angles, considering all possibilities. So for Libra season, your focus, I feel like it may be more on the material side of things. And when I say that, I mean like on your wants, on your desires, as well as your physical and your mental well-being. And I add mental there because we have that meditating imagery here. So I do see you kind of taking time to be like to yourself. You know, we had Leo season over the summer, which was you in all of your glory, and even Virgo season, I said I felt that Leos would be sharing a lot of their strength, their abilities, and just standing out in Virgo season as well. So when it comes to Libra season, I do see you taking this time to take a step back, being a bit more introspective, thinking things through a lot more, I guess is how I would put that. There's almost an energy here to these cards where you're stepping up, okay? You're still being a leader, as is associated with Leo energy, but it's almost like you're focusing that energy on yourself, which is what I was saying with being introspective. But this is about your well-being, taking care of yourself, seeing to your needs. This is taking your mind off of things, focusing more on you, having discernment about who you're getting involved with, projects that you're getting involved with, you know, really paying attention to where you're spending a lot of your time and energy, and is that something that's beneficial to you, okay? Because one of the words I see here on the Sun card is realize. So you're discerning, you're realizing, you're taking a step back, and you're kind of figuring out what is truly working for you and what isn't anymore. Libra season is gonna be just kind of like a pause for you, Leo. This is gonna be, you know, a time where you don't have to be in the spotlight, in the center of attention. It's okay for you to kind of take a back seat role this season, figure out what you need to do for you. Because what I do see here, Leo, is you wanting more. So what you've been doing hasn't been working out for you, or you haven't been feeling as fulfilled as you would like. So this is, you know, the time to use this season as a means of figuring out what you can do for yourself to give you that sense of fulfillment that you've been looking for. Okay, so that's what I see for you, Leo. Really kind of a introspective period where you keep to yourself, work on yourself, and then you can come out next season hopefully better and brighter than before. Okay, Virgos, thank you for joining me for your Tarotscope for Libra season. I drew the Hermit, Resistance, and Jupiter for you. And I love seeing the Hermit here because the astrological correspondent for the Hermit is Virgo. So, I mean, really right on par with your energy. So kind of the message I get straight away from these three cards is that Libra season is going to be a time of problem solving for you. And I know a lot of Virgos are going to be like, well, obviously every day is a day for problem solving if you're a Virgo. But it really is a period of finding solutions, striving to overcome any of this resistance to your goals, okay? This is saying, you know, if things aren't going your way in Libra season, it's okay for you to take a time out, maintain that composure that Virgo is so known for, and figure out solutions. You can get creative, expand on ideas you already have, right? Because Jupiter is all about expansion. So what can you build upon to get where you want to go? That's kind of the question that Libra season is going to present to you, okay, Virgo? I do see success for you in Libra season in whatever this endeavor is that the cards are referring to you, for you personally. I do see success because we have Jupiter, which is a planet of blessings and good fortune. But I feel like, in Virgos, you're probably gonna know this anyway, but I feel like even with the success that you're going to have, you realize that it's only the first step. You realize that there's so much more that's going to be coming for you after. This is just a little stepping stone to where you really want to be. So yes, while Libra season is going to be successful for you, I don't see it being the culmination of all your efforts. Does that make sense? So it's like you're making progress, but you haven't reached the finish line yet. So if there's something you've been working towards, something you've been really aspiring to, you're making progress, but I don't see it coming to completion in Libra season for you. It's, you got a good start, you're on your way, but it's not quite there yet. There's still a little more time that's needed here. There is an interesting kind of message I'm getting here, and I hate saying like, oh, an ex is gonna come into your life. I hate giving readings like this, but I do see someone coming back. It could just be like an old interest, an old flame. I do see them coming back to you, and I think you're gonna have resistance about it because it's something I think you've already recovered from, you've moved on from, you're not interested anymore. So you may have resistance towards them, and this is, we have the Hermit, so you're in a period of working on yourself, working on your goals. I don't see you getting back together with this person or moving forward with this person, because it may not be a romantic person. It may be an old friend, or maybe even like a family member you've cut off. But there's resistance towards them. There's some sort of animosity here. They're coming back. I don't think you're going to be very receptive towards them and towards their motives. It almost feels like you've known this person, but when they re-enter your life, you're going to feel like strangers. It'll be like, yeah, I used to know you, but I don't know who you are anymore. And the fact is that both of you have probably changed and you're moving on. And this will be, I have learn and teach over here. This is a learning moment for you, Virgo. This is to teach you about yourself, to teach you how you've moved on, to show you how you've matured and kind of grown up since you last dealt with this person. I see, along that same vein, they may invoke a feeling of loss in you. You may feel like, oh, I've been missing out, or I have missed them. There's just like a feeling of sadness that they're going to invoke in you kind of when this person first appears, but I do see that shifting because we have Jupiter here. So this shifts into a more positive outlook after you establish what you want to do about the situation, whether you want to get back with them or have them re-enter your life or not. I do see you kind of accepting the situation for what it is. And ultimately, I see you being proud of the decision you made. Whichever, I'm not going to tell you what decision you need to make. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life. But whatever choice you do make, I see you being proud of it, and I think that's something to look forward to, is this sense of accomplishment, okay? So that's what I'm seeing for you here, Virgo. You're really channeling that Virgo energy, okay, of problem solving, coming up with solutions, making the best out of situations. But I want you to be aware of this person coming back into your life, the resistance that you're going to have towards them, the more negative and heavier emotions that they're going to invoke from you, and ultimately how this is a learning lesson for you. This is a period of kind of acknowledging your own growth, your own maturity, and how you've changed since you've last encountered this person. So I want to thank you for joining me. I hope nothing but good things for you in Libra season, and I'm going to get started with the next group. Okay, Libra, welcome to your season. This is your time to shine, right? You should feel back in your element. You should feel at home with this energy that's going to be swirling around this season. So let's look at what cards I've pulled for you. Our first tarot card here is the Six of Cups. And then the clarifying oracle cards are the Path and Saturn. which I actually believe Saturn is going direct here soon. I don't know if it's going direct during Libra season or even before, but Saturn is going direct soon. It's been retrograde for a while. Anyway, so the first thing that hit me upon seeing these cards, Libra, is kind of this interesting correlation between the Six of Cups and Saturn. These are both energies dealing with past lives and karma. So I think this may be an enlightening season for you, okay? Because with the Six of Cups, it's past life situations. It also has to deal with nostalgia and just our past in general, things from our past making a reappearance, because Saturn here is like the karmic teacher. He's got stuff that he needs you to learn. There is something from your past or your past life that hasn't been resolved, and Saturn is bringing it up for you to address it right now. And when I see the path, this might be something associated with your higher purpose, with your calling, with something that you feel drawn towards. If you don't already know what your path is, this whole season might be about showing you, which direction you're meant to be taking. If you're not in alignment with your path, Saturn is gonna fix that for you, okay? Saturn is gonna show you, no, this is clearly not meant for you, and he's gonna give you the nudge and the direction that you need to be in. So there could be some issues, when I see the Six of Cups, it could be some childhood issues coming up, but when it's mixed with Saturn, I really am more inclined to believe that it's something with past lives, something to do with karma you've accumulated from those past lives. So there's some issues here. I would, take this season to be introspective with yourself, kind of think to yourself as I'm going over these, what are some things that you're sensitive about that you don't really understand why? Because those are the issues that are going to be brought up for you. Things that you're highly sensitive towards, issues that you may not want to resolve, because Saturn, he's for your greater good, but he's not always the most gentle with, showing you what you need and teaching you what you need to know. It also feels like kind of breaking through any self-imposed limitations or barriers. So if you've told yourself, no, I can't do this, no, I'm not meant to do this, no, I could never, no, that's not something for me. Saturn is kind of saying, reconsider. There's the message here, you need to be realistic, okay? But this is also recognizing that some of these barriers and some of these blocks that you may face in this season, they're self-imposed. You've put these on yourself, and it's kind of like trying to shift your mindset this season, okay? Trying to show you what exactly is possible. If we look at the imagery here, okay, if this is you down here, and this is like the world you've created for yourself, think of Saturn as showing you, what am I pointing at? Up here. Okay, this is what is truly possible, and it's showing you how to get there too, okay? The other message I get for you during this season, Libra, is a message of patience. I have written on this card, you need to wait. And it's like, just try to relax this season. Let ideas come and go. When the right one hits you, when the right one finds you, intuitively and instinctively, you're going to know. I also just want to say that things are going to work out better than what you've anticipated. I look at this imagery again of this darkness that you have built around yourself, but the future is bright, okay? There's a lot of positive energy coming your way. And when we're dealing with Saturn, it may be rough while you're working with him, while you're undergoing what he has to teach you, but it's ultimately for your own good. So there is a positive ending to this season and to these revelations you're going to be hit with this season. There's also, and I've mentioned the nostalgia already, but I feel you looking back a lot during this season. I see you maybe contemplating what could have been, how things may have worked out if this didn't happen. And while it can be okay to get lost in that nostalgia sometimes, don't get lost there the whole time, okay? Recognize where you've come from, recognize where you were, but then Saturn wants you to turn your eyes towards the future and what could be, okay? What's waiting for you. That's what this season is all about, is showing you, issues from your past, helping you work through them, and then eventually moving on. So that's what I have for you, my lovely Libras. I wish you all happy birthdays this season, and I hope nothing but the best for you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this, and I will move on to the next sign. Okay, Scorpio, welcome to Libra season. I have pulled for you the Eight of Swords, the card Realization, and also Venus. So the energy I get for you, Scorpio, in Libra season is going to be focused a lot on your relationships. And I say that because of Venus, and this could be in particular your kind of platonic friendship relationships, but for some of you it may also be your romantic ones. And when we look at the Eight of Swords, this is a card about feeling trapped, feeling kind of restricted, feeling like you're stuck in a negative cycle. And when we have realization here, it's, you know, you're coming to terms with that. You're recognizing that you are in this negative cycle of some sort. And it's like you're worrying that things are always going to be the same. Things aren't going to change. And that's not true. We know that the nature of life is change. So I want to tell you, Scorpio, don't blame yourself for the faults of others. Don't take on others' issues. I feel like you get so invested in your relationships, and you get so invested and consumed by what other people are going through. You know, take on their burdens. You shoulder their burdens with them or even for them. And this is saying you need to kind of snap out of that behavior, because how can you take care of yourself if you're, you know, constantly taking care of others first? How can you better yourself? How can you break out of this cycle if you're just accepting more and more and more from your relationships? The message here is that sometimes you need to say no, and you need to realize when to walk away. Because I do see for you, Scorpio, I see you realizing that you want to get out. You want to change this mindset. You're very much aware of what's going on. You know, you're not naive here. You know that you're taking on people's burdens, and that you're taking on others' issues and concerns, and you're worrying so much for others. And you know that you're doing this, and it's something that you want to get out of too. You want to break free of this kind of negative mindset and negative cycle that you're stuck in. And one way for you to do that, Scorpio, that I'm seeing, you know, with Venus, we also have, you know, the association with arts and with creativity. So you may be finding an outlet through those means. If there's a creative endeavor that speaks to you or calls to you, if you like to write, or if you know, something artistic like painting or drawing, I see you kind of taking that up again as a means to get out of this kind of dark space. Because here, I want to point out the imagery here, is that this person is surrounded by dark and they're surrounded by night, but they are entering the light, okay? They're going through that keyhole. And there's better times there. It's just a matter of finding that and getting out. Whatever problems you find yourself dealing with or taking on from others, I'm getting a message that you need to understand that any and all of those can be overcome. Nothing is too great for you not to power through. Which, I mean, you're Scorpio, okay? You have that power, you have that drive. Your sub-ruler is Mars. There is passion there, and there is an ability to conquer and to overcome, and that's a message that I need you to hear right now. I also want to make it clear that although this isn't always the case, in this instance right now, during this season, a lot of the problems are going to be the result of others and not yourself. Like I said, that's not always the case. Sometimes in Scorpio, I think you know this, sometimes you create a lot of the problems that you deal with and struggle with. But for Libra season, a lot of the issues lie with others. You know, maybe they're not coming through on their end. Maybe they're not living up to what they've promised, or they usually contribute. Maybe they're not meeting your expectations, but the issue is lying with other people this season. So have patience and find yourself a healthy, creative outlet for any frustration that you deal with, any feelings of being trapped. There is a way out of that. You know, when I see the Eight of Swords here, Scorpio, the other thing I want to point out is that I know I mentioned knowing when to walk away. For some of you, this person that keeps burdening you or stressing you out, they're not good people. For some of you Scorpios out there, you found yourselves entangled with these negative, toxic people, okay? There could be some sort, I hesitate to say abuse, but with the Eight of Swords, there is a heavy negativity and a very unhealthy dynamic where you are the one trapped, you are the one bound, and you're realizing that and you need to break away. So take a good look at your relationships this season, Scorpio. Take a good look at the people you've surrounded yourself with. Figure out who's good for you, understand who's not good for you, and make moves to break away from the negativity that you want to get away from so badly, because I know you do. That's what I see here for you, Scorpio. I thank you so much for checking out this video, and I wish you nothing but happiness and the best for Libra season. Okay, here we have Sagittarius. Welcome to your Taroscope for Libra season. I have pulled for you the Magician, the Unexpected, and the South Node. So what are we dealing with in Libra season, Sagittarius? So with the Magician, this is about manifesting and new beginnings, exploring new opportunities, new possibilities, and generally bettering yourself. This is all energy like you want to go forth and conquer. You want to try new things. You want to explore new things. You want to have that grand adventure this season. It's like you have this very strong longing for a fresh start. I don't know what you've been going through, Sagittarius, but you are ready to start over and you are ready to move on. However, what I have down here with the Unexpected and the South Node is that even though you're ready to move on, either the people that were involved or this situation is not quite ready to let you go. Now, I say that because the South Node is all about where you've been, where you come from. That's kind of like your past. It can be where you're comfortable because it's a realm that you've already mastered. And then when I see the Unexpected, this is, referring to things from your South Node, so things from your past popping up that you weren't anticipating. You thought it was done, you've moved on, you've forgotten about it. You're pursuing your North Node, you're pursuing that fresh start, but someone is popping back up from your past, and I don't think you're going to want them back in. Because when I see the Magician, this is so clearly and so strongly that desire for something new. So this could be a new job, a new major, a new education path, and even a new partner. So you want a fresh start in basically all aspects of your life. This unexpected person from your past, they're going to show up, but I don't think you have any room for them or any desire to let them in, to be honest. I feel like your communication is going to be either tested or otherwise really put in the spotlight for Libra season, because we have a lot of blue here in the Magician and there's a lot of blue in the Unexpected card as well, which is speaking to our throat chakra, which governs over our communication abilities. And the Magician itself, since it's ruled by Mercury, is often associated with communication. So there's a lot of talking. You know what? This could be like if we're getting real literal, this could be a text message, a phone call, an email, like someone sliding into your DMs. This is some sort of communication from someone from your past showing up. That just was made abundantly clear. So this is someone is trying to contact you in Libra season from your past, but I feel like you've outgrown them. That part of your being, who you were when you knew this person, is no longer who you are now. So you've outgrown them. You're in pursuit of your North Node, of where you're meant to be going. You're feeling ambitious, you're feeling positive, maybe a little headstrong, maybe a little impatient, because that's often associated with the Magician as well. But ultimately, Libra season, there might even be more than one, okay? But I do see people from your past or someone from your past showing up, reaching out to you, especially through text message, phone call, like your private messages, maybe interested in rekindling what you had or repairing that relationship, but I don't even know if they know who you are anymore. Does that make sense? Like they may have an idea of you in their head of who you were when you did know each other, but now you've moved on and you're on to bigger and better things, and good on you. This honestly feels like a lot of ambition and a lot of motivation in regards to, I mean, I've talked about it, but in regards to career, your life path. I know we have the south node here, but I see you in pursuit of the north node, so where you're meant to be going. This is a very productive season for you, Sagittarius, and I don't want you to get held back or thrown for a loop when this person from your past arrives. Just remember, and I say that and I look and I have the word remember. I don't know if you can see that, but the word remember is on this card. So you need to remember that they're in your past for a reason. You know, you didn't bring them along to your future, to your present for a reason. Now is not the time to let them back in. There may be anxiety surrounding what to do about this person, but I need you to channel the Magician. I need you to channel this ambitious, go forth and conquer type of energy to pursue what's best for you this season. Okay, Sagittarius. Whew. There's going to be a lot going on for you, but I wish you nothing but the best during Libra season, and I appreciate you checking out this TAROTSCOPE with me. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with the next group. Okay, Capricorn, welcome to your TAROTSCOPE for Libra season. I have pulled for you the Wheel of Fortune, Patience, and the 6th house. So, Cappy, let's talk. Are you feeling low? Are you feeling down on yourself? Because when I have the Wheel of Fortune, okay, this is kind of like a reminder that life is cyclical, that there are moments where you're going to be feeling on top of the wheel, and there are moments when you're going to be feeling down here at the bottom. And I'm just getting the feeling that right now, a lot of you are feeling, there's not even a wheel on here, okay? I'm like, where's the wheel on this card? It's out here. So some of you are gonna be feeling towards the bottom of this wheel right now. And I say that, you know, because I have cards like Patience telling me that in regards to your work, in regards to your everyday life, which are all domains ruled over by the 6th house, there's frustration and there's lack of progress. And I'm not surprised that you're not feeling great about that, because as a cardinal sign, Capricorn is all about making progress, especially in regards to things like their everyday life and their career. Those are like some main definitive points for Capricorn energy. So we have this oracle card telling you patience. Things are not going to be happening as quickly for you during Libra season as you may like. What else do I see here, Cappy? When dealing with the Wheel of Fortune, the message that kind of goes along with that card is to not get stuck on plans, that sometimes you need to let things happen as they will. A lot of things are out of your control, not just during Libra season, but all of the time. There are things that are going to be outside of your control, and you need to learn to just flow with the cycle. Understand that you're going up and you're going down, and you're gonna have periods of both, and one cannot exist without the other. What I do want to say, if you are at the bottom of the wheel right now, is that by the end of Libra season, you can expect a fresh new cycle. You can expect, you know, to be at the top again. If you're at the bottom right now, expect Libra season to be a lot of work and a lot of patience, slowly making your way back up to the top. And here at the top, at the end of Libra season, is when you have your fresh news cycle. You're feeling good, you're feeling literally on top of things again, and the cycle continues. And I do want to stress again that that dissatisfaction, that disappointment, and that frustration does seem to be centered mainly on your career, your work environment, and just your day-to-day life, not feeling as fulfilled or as successful as you would like, not feeling like you've accomplished what you think you should have accomplished by now. Capricorn, you set very, very high expectations for yourself, and you set the bar very high for yourself. And I want you to understand that even though you're not making the progress you feel like you should be making right now, that is not something that's stagnant, that is not something that's set in stone. You have the power to turn it around to climb back up to the top of the wheel, but it is going to take a lot of patience and understanding, which as a cardinal sign, that's not something that's exactly in your forte, but I need you to tap into that, acknowledge that Libra season is going to be an uphill battle for you, but at the top there's a lot of promise. And whatever this problematic situation is that's happening at work or in your day-to-day life, there is, a positive outcome to it. Now, I want to throw some relationship information in there too. I'm not getting a whole lot of love life or relationship information from these cards, but when we look at the Wheel of Fortune in regards to like romance, it can also signify someone coming back. And that feels like I've said that for a couple groups, that there's some sort of energy here that has someone coming back, but you're not quite sure how it's going to turn out, and you're going to be feeling very uncertain about it. And if you're feeling that much hesitancy, if you're feeling that reserved and kind of iffy about it, I think that honestly has all of the information you could ask for. That is telling you everything you need to know, and you need to focus on yourself and focus on climbing back up that wheel. Okay, so that's what I see for you, Capricorn. I appreciate you checking out this Tarotscope. I wish you nothing but the best during Libra season, and I'm gonna go ahead and get started with the next sign. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your Tarotscope for Libra season. Here I have pulled for you the Four of Pentacles, the Growth card, and Gemini. What I feel just right off the bat with the energies from these cards is that Libra season is going to ask you to be honest with yourself. Okay, there is a lot of, you clinging on to old ideas, old mindsets. The Four of Pentacles is about clinging onto those old ideas, but you're being asked to go through some growth, and that's going to require you being honest with yourself. So there's obviously a lot of a mental energy surrounding you this season. I mean, not only are you an air sign in an air sign, but we also have the final and third air sign present in your spread. So this is going to be a lot of, expanding and growing upon the way you think, what you believe, what you know, what you want to know, and also some communication about that, because Gemini is communicative, and there's some blue I see here in the Growth card. So I feel like this season is going to be about you establishing a new approach or creating a new foundation for yourself. This is all about, you maybe feeling frustrated, discouraged, disappointment in where you currently are, and coming up with new ideas, kind of shaking things up, letting go of these old things that you've been clinging to in order to grow, embrace, and change, and actually make some positive progress. Now, in regards to relationships, romantic or platonic, it's lighthearted. There's lighthearted energy here, but there's also that old air sign curse of coming off as detached, disinterested, kind of like guarded or non-committal. There's a lot of that here, especially because the Four of Pentacles is very reserved, very keeping to yourself. So I don't see you developing any like new passionate relationships. Okay, you're very much focused on the material and growing, your business, your career, your material possessions, okay, feeling more secure and stable in the physical realm. That in relationships, people just might not think you're as into them as you could be. I also want you to understand, Aquarius, that if you find yourself consistently being confronted with blocks and with challenges, that maybe that's trying to tell you something. I want you to think about it as Gemini represents, okay? Take a moment, think about it, and see if maybe you're being stopped so often because it's trying to prevent you from going down that path. Maybe you're meant for something different. Maybe you need to release these old ideas and these old expectations, find some growth, okay? Grow a little bit and grow in that different direction. Try something that maybe you hadn't considered before. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer in regards to your relationships, but I think it's beneficial for you to be focusing on yourself and on your education and career goals, because for Libra season, I don't see a lot of new passionate affairs, new romantic relationships. I just see you focusing on yourself and building yourself. Relationships during this time, I don't see them working out as you may hope. I just don't see anyone catching your eye. And that's of course for my single Aquarians out there. I just don't see anyone catching your eye for Libra season. This is a period for you to change up your mindset, which can be hard because we are dealing with a fixed sign, okay? You may be a little stubborn and set in your ways and think your way is right, and there's no changing that, but you're being asked to grow and step out of that way of thinking. So that is what I have for you here, Aquarius. I appreciate you checking out this TAROTSCOPE with me. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in Libra season, and I'm going to go and tackle the next sign. Hello, my fellow fishies, my Pisces babies. Here we have for your Libra season TAROTSCOPE the Seven of Swords, Action, and to no one's surprise, Pisces. So with that being said, pulling a Pisces card for Pisces is saying, you may be embodying the true archetype of Pisces during this season. You may be that idealistic, imaginative, daydreamy, emotional, romantic type of person this season. That, or for some of you, you may find yourself surrounded by other Pisces and more Pisces energy. With the Seven of Swords, this is a card of secrecy, of things not being exactly what they appear. And that is so interesting that we have a card of illusion associated with Pisces this season, because Pisces, is a sign of illusion because it's ruled by Neptune. So we have that haziness, and something is not what it appears to be this season. I can tell you that much. There's a lot of interest in self-protection for you because things just seem so unstable, uncertain, unpredictable that you're trying to find some sort of security this season for yourself. I want you to find someone who's reliable, who you consider stable. And this season, we're dealing with Libra season, so it's a season of partnerships and relationships. I see you maybe spending a lot of time with someone who is able to help protect you, okay? Because you're a little lost in Libra season, Pisces, okay? This is gonna require you to take action, because we have the action card, because my cat flying across the house. Take action card and take action to maintain some sort of mental and emotional balance. And I understand that can be asking for a lot when it comes to us fish, but you need to find some way to achieve some sort of balance this season. Something else I see for you, Pisces, if things don't work out, if you start to feel stressed or overwhelmed, I do see you trying to retreat. I see, those escapist tendencies that Pisces can have, really indulging in those escapist tendencies. And this card right here is your reminder that you can't run away from your problems this season. When things get heavy, when things get difficult, you need to take action and do something about correcting it. You can't keep running away. We can't keep running away, all right? Sometimes we need to stand up, take action, and actually do something about it. Something else I want to point out with the Seven of Swords is the idea of secrecy, of something being hidden from others. I don't know if you're keeping secrets. I don't know if there's something that should be coming out that you're keeping hidden, and if you are keeping it hidden, I feel like you think it's in order to protect the other party. But I want you to really ask yourself if keeping this secret is for everyone's best interest, or if it's something that really needs to be said and needs to come out. I don't want you to avoid the truth, and I don't want you to avoid telling the truth this season, okay? The other side of that is that for the rest of you or others, you may be dealing with people who are keeping secrets from you. And if that's the case, I want you to really trust your intuition and your inner voice this season, okay? On some level, something is being concealed here. You may be concealing it, someone else may be concealing it, but there is something that is hidden that is just itching to get out this season. And when I see action and I see this full moon, it is ready to come out, and it will come out. So really consider, if you're the one keeping the secret, you know, if you want a positive end to this situation, is it worth omitting the truth, or should you just come forward and say it? And for those who feel like someone is hiding something from them, I need you to trust your intuition on that, okay? And you could also take action and ask them about it. Try to be upfront. I know confrontation is not a Pisces strong suit, okay? I really understand that, and it can be really scary to confront someone, but I need you to take care of yourself this season, and I need you to work on uncovering whatever this secrecy is, whatever this concealed information is. This is a season, Pisces, for you to embrace clarity, for you to embrace truth. You know, be upfront, lay everything on the table, clear the air. These secrets are weighing you down, they're weighing that other person down. It's gotta come out, and it's going to come out. It's about to reach that climax, okay? So the sooner the better, rip off that Band-Aid. Okay, Pisces, I want you to be cautious with yourself, with who you're giving information to. I want you to be upfront with your own intentions, with your own secrets, and I want you to clear the air, but action is needed. You can't run away, you can't escape from it, you can't rely on someone else to fix it for you. You need to step up and handle this yourself, okay? The other messages I want to point out are actually on the Pisces card. We have, you know, trusting your psychic knowledge. So this is, like I said, trusting your intuition, trusting your inner voice. And the other message is that you may be a part of something overwhelming. So this season, it may be a little heavy for you, okay? And astrologically, Libra and Pisces are in conjunct, or they're quincunx? I don't know how to say that Q word, but they're in conjunct. So they don't see eye to eye. There's not a whole lot that Libra and Pisces have in common. So that kind of instability is what's coming out in the cards here for you, Pisces. I need you to embrace taking action, and I need you to, you know, take care of yourself. Be honest, expect honesty, and really trust your gut this season, okay, Pisces? That's what I see for you during this time. I wish you nothing but the best and all the good luck, and I really appreciate you checking out this Tarot-scope with me. So, until next time, bye-bye. This season. Get away from it all. That's my cat still running around, if you can hear her.